Oh, I stopped because I didn't know if you were going to sneeze.
I had a burp coming.
Do I say I need to?
Nothing's happening.
Okay, so what are you going to do from here? Are you going to be turning it back around to you? Like, why do you have it going that way?
I'm about to do the shoulders.
Aha, gotcha. Okay.
Let me put a fresh thread in here. Okay, so we've got our side seams done, and next we're going to do our shoulders. Now, in the directions, to me it looks like they just wanted to stitch straight across here, but I don't like how that looks. It leaves unfinished edges. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to pull out some of this facing so that I can... Okay, now we've got our side seams done. So let's do our shoulder seams. In the directions, it appears to me that they want to stitch straight across all the layers of the shoulder. I think that looks messy and leaves unfinished edges, so we're going to do it a little bit differently. Let's take our shoulder, line them up, and then the back layer, we're going to wrap that around, or excuse me, the front, we're going to wrap that around the back, and then we're going to stitch that. Okay, now this is our second shoulder. We have it basted in. Now we're going to turn it right side out. And this is our seam. On both sides, the seam is hit, the rough edges are hidden. So let's turn this right side out. And this is the body of our shirt. Now, you can take this basting seam out, and then just blind hem it down with a very loose stitch, or you can just leave it open. It's so far in here, it's not really going to be that big of a deal. Okay, you see you have finished seams, nothing hanging out there, and now you're ready to put your sleeves on. I believe this is the most challenging part of the pattern. Okay, now I meant to mention earlier, another thing peculiar to the Burda patterns is instead of the little black marks that you see on other commercial patterns, we have seam numbers that we need to line up. For instance, here's a shoulder seam. This is the front piece on the pattern. You have a number 3 here, and you would need to line it up with the back piece, number 3 here. That's just an example. So we're going to, for our sleeve, let's note that we have a little mark here for 5. And on the sleeve here, we have a mark for 5. And because this is the front part of the pattern, we know that this is going to be the front end of the sleeve. So let's get our pattern, our sleeve done, and then we can line up these marks so we know which is the front and the back of the sleeve. Okay, so I pulled out the facing just so that it doesn't get confused with the armhole stitching. And we've got our marks lined up. Remember our pattern marks from the pattern. Here we are lined up. And now we're going to stitch your sleeve to your armhole.